What's up guys and girls, welcome to another video. In this video I want to talk about 5 details in God of War Ragnarok that I think people just aren't talking about. I tried my best to pick out obscure things that I've noticed in my playthrough, so let's get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is Kratos' Norse name. If you go back to God of War 2018, you can actually see that the giants changed his name to Farbati. Now this name is a very significant name in the traditional mythology, as this is the father of Loki, who disappeared very early in his life. Now this detail comes from God of War Ragnarok. When you visit the Norns begin to talk about Kratos and his life. And one of the things that the Norns call Kratos is Cruel Striker. The name Farbati in Old Norse is translated to Cruel Striker, Dangerous Striker, words of that nature. But Cruel Striker is the most popular one.
Kratos, ghost of Sparta, bane of Olympus, destroyer of fate, cruel striker, bringer of war, weapon of the gods, turned against his creators. He choices of redemption he knows he can never deserve.
But the similarities with the Norse names doesn't stop there. We of course know that Atreus' name is Loki, and during a conversation with fake Tyr throughout the game, Tyr does drop the word Mischief, and of course Loki is the god of mischief, which is really cool.
There was a wolf in hell. He was in chains and I set him free. I thought that if...
Garm? Great bleeding fuck, lad, you freed Garm!
Garm? Who freed Garm? That's madness. Surely not you, young one.
If the Hound of Hell is loose, he'll chew through the fabric of the realms. Hellwalkers are just the beginning. What were you thinking?
Aye, this is a fuck-up of not insignificant proportions.
What would drive you to such mischief? Is this Loki's doing?
Enough. Leave him. Atreus has made a mistake. One that we will fix together.
On this channel, I often have to go back to God of War 2018, and there is a very cool detail that actually references the end of God of War Ragnarok. During a conversation with Mimir, Mimir talks about his origins, how he's not from here, and how he sailed here from a different place. Here is what he had to say.
Mimir, how'd you come to be in these lands?
Lad, there comes a time in every man's life when he changes his name and heads north to make a new start.
Now what Mimir did, he went to another place, he changed his name when he got older, is exactly what Atreus did at the end of God of War Ragnarok. Look at that, Mimir actually predicting the future. At the end of God of War Ragnarok, Atreus tells Kratos that he has to go find the other giants. Kratos says Loki will go, but Atreus will stay. Atreus is now changing his name to cross the sea into other lands. This is how deep the writing goes in God of War Ragnarok, that this small little line about Mimir talking about his origin will actually be the origin of Loki throughout the whole world, finding the giants. Which brings us to our next detail, the boat painting in Sindri's house. Now the boat painting in Sindri's house holds a lot of significance here. In God of War Fallen God comic, Kratos actually sailed out of Greece in a boat and ended up in a land called Land of the Pharaohs. Mimir, as we just heard, got on a boat and left his homeland of Scotland and came to Norse. Atreus is now going to sail the sea into other lands to find the giants. We know that based on what he said in the conversation with Angrboda in the Muspelheim shrine. There is that conversation.
A while back, you talked about how the giants left. You ever think about them?
All the time. They're far from here. Far from Odin and Thor. But I wonder what lands they've gone to. What seas they've crossed. Why?
I want to find them. I'm gonna save my father and then I'll find them.
So just like Kratos and Mimir, Atreus is actually going to sail out into the world, into different lands to find all the giants that he can, because they actually left the 9 realms. This boat painting represents the lives of Kratos, Mimir, and now Atreus, the future of God of War. or God of Mischief, whatever they decide to call this new story. Next up is the flower. Atreus, while in Ironwood, tried to give Angrboda a flower, and Angrboda rejected the hell out of him.
Hey,
Killed a flower?
Oh, it's a gift.
Thanks, but you keep it.
But if you return to Jotunheim after the game is over, you can find a very identical flower that Atreus tried to give her, symbolizing that she has a thing for Atreus. Hopefully, I think that she's going to show up in the next games, and this could be the first sign of a potential love interest. Last but not least, and a lot of people seem to know about this, but that is Skjöldr is a Danish king. In mythology, Skjöldr actually is a king, and after the game is done, you can actually visit him several times. At the very start of the game, Kratos tossed a coin, and that coin got lodged into some rock. And Skjöldr at the end of the game is trying to pull this coin out, and he says that this coin will be the start of his new life to gain fortune. Here is the conversations with Skjöldr.
I thought I'd come here and see if I could find it. And I did, if you can believe it. But, it's kind of stuck, because you're, like, crazy strong, apparently. I'm sorry, did you want to keep it?
No. It is yours.
You sure? It's probably really valuable. I mean, that's not why I'm after it, but if I were gonna sell a genuine Asgardian artifact touched by at least 3 gods, I'd expect that'd fetch, well, a whole lot. Probably enough to buy my own boat. Set out, make my fortune.
The coin is yours. Good luck to you.
Thanks. You too. And if you see Thrud, never mind.
You wished word of Thor's daughter.
Thrud? You saw Thrud? How is she?
She is well. She has recovered her father's hammer.
Whoa, that's amazing. Don't you worry. She's gonna do good with that thing. She's an amazing person. Probably my favorite. I mean, not like that. She doesn't have time for boys, but I don't care. She's just great. Is it getting warmer? I feel like it's getting warmer. How about that thaw?
I really do think that this is a hint for the future of God of War. I think that Atreus is going to travel alongside the companions that he met in God of War Ragnarok, like Skjöldr, of course, and I think throughout their adventures, they will eventually part ways in a whole different mythology where Skjöldr will eventually become a king. I do think that the end of this game and his conversations really show that he has a lot of potential in the series, along with Thor's daughter. Now, there is so much more details in this game, but that is going to be it for this video in particular. If you like this video, I suggest giving it a like, and remember to subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. Now, again, I tried my best to pick out things that people didn't exactly talk about, but if you want me to do more, definitely let me know in the comments and by hitting that like button. I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys and girls for listening. Deuces.